观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎收看《美南时事通》，我是主持人王杰。大家现在都非常关注自身的健康问题，无论是形体、皮肤状态，还是我们的身体护理啊。今天我们特意邀请到了非常著名的美容医生 Dr. Camp， 和我们一起来分享一下他从业多年的经历，还有他主营治疗的一些案例，希望可以带给您启示。好的，欢迎我们今天的特约嘉宾 Dr. Camp。Hello, Dr. Camp, how are you today?
I'm very good, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, yeah, thank you for coming to our online interview. Yeah, Dr. Camp is a very famous and popular doctor in Houston. Yeah, can you introduce yourself first?
Yeah, so I'm Dr. Darryl Camp, and I have an interesting background. I'm a neurologist, brain and spine doctor, and did a lot of research in brain and spine. But about 10 years ago, sort of changed my practice into another area, and that area has to do with everything from anti-aging and beautification. And there's some really cutting-edge things that we offer in the clinic that we're very proud and excited about. Things that can actually potentially make you live longer, look better, feel healthier, and basically just more vibrant in life.
Okay, yeah, thank you. And what kind of beauty and wellness program does your group offer?
Yeah. Hold on just a second.
Mm-hmm.
Just a second here. Okay, go ahead. Repeat that. I could not hear you.
Yeah. And what kind of beauty and wellness program does your group have right now?
So we have different things. So there's different ways to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
We can feel younger and more beautiful on the inside, but we also offer things on the outside. So we can start maybe with the outside. So we have a number of treatment options. Some of them are very cutting edge. We tend to focus on a lot of products and machines that offer the best results to make our skin look better. And we focus on Korean-based products. We have traveled to Korea. I've traveled there many times. And Korea really is the mecca of skincare. I think a lot of the Asian population knows that. If you want plastic surgery, a lot of people travel to Asia. But the skin products are really excellent, as well as in Japan. So we have both the topical products. We have some unique lines that are from Korea, but we also have some unique machines. For example, we have something called Agnes that is very unique. If you have bags under the eyes or a double chin, without having to take medications, we can use this machine in a very unique way, and it breaks up and actually eliminates the fat and makes the under eye bags flatter. It can get rid of your extra double chin. So it's pretty amazing. And then we have one called Scarlet, again, another device from Korea that just gives you amazing results. It tightens the skin, it actually lifts, and it gets rid of the lines without having to have surgery. It's also much less painful than some other devices that try to use similar techniques. This was pioneered again in Korea, and so the results tend to be a lot better than most machines out there. So those are just some of the external things that we offer. We offer many more, but I like to also talk about what also makes us feel good. If we feel good on the inside, it shows on the outside.
Okay.
And so one of the things that's important, and a lot of people don't realize this, even a lot of physicians don't address this, and that is optimization of hormones. For example, in men, you want your testosterone to be optimized. It doesn't matter what the lab level shows. It matters how you feel. Do you feel like going to the gym? Do you still have a desire in the bedroom? Those kind of things oftentimes come from testosterone. And it's very interesting in men, if your testosterone level is low, many men feel not just sluggish, but almost like they're depressed. They don't have energy. They kind of go through life feeling blah. And once we replace the testosterone, it's amazing. In the case of women, oftentimes we want to balance their estrogen. But this is a very unknown sort of secret. A lot of people don't realize women need a little bit of estrogen too. And, most people think if you supplement your things like testosterone, you have to take a shot. Well, there's actually ways to supplement it without the shots. And it's actually very very natural. It comes from plants, but structurally, it's exactly the testosterone that we produce in our bodies. And it comes from things like a plant called a yam, sort of like a potato. It sounds interesting, but it works. And we put it in pellets and we put it just underneath the skin. And for 4 months, it releases the natural testosterone that is missing. And in the case of women, the estrogen that's missing. So these are some of the things. Some of the really cutting edge stuff, though, deals with actually prolonging our life. And there are some interesting studies ongoing about this. And some people predict in the future that we're going to live 20 to 50 years longer. And that sounds like science fiction right now, but we actually have the studies ongoing now that are going to prove this. And we are kind of already adopting some of these things that are in the studies. We're using some things what we call off-label, but it's really interesting. We use different kinds of treatments such as peptides. Some peptides will make you, for example, produce your own growth hormone. So growth hormone is something that we need, and that it goes down as we age. And so when we get our growth hormone back later in life, our skin gets firm, we get rid of our wrinkles, we start to look and feel younger. There are also a number of things that are very cutting edge that will also reduce our age. So those are some of the ways we try to make people feel good on the inside, feel younger, and then actually hopefully studies will bear out that all of these things will come to fruition, that we will live longer. And the most important thing is, a lot of us say, yes, I'd love to live longer, but do you want to live longer if your quality of life is not good? If you have a lot of diseases, if you have advanced diabetes, you have heart disease, you have dementia, your loss of memory, that's not a quality of life, many would say, if those diseases are affecting our ability to live a happy, healthy, life. The beauty of the things I'm talking about is, at least in theory and in studies, they're looking at reducing the possibility of all of these kind of things. So it's really some amazing cutting edge opportunities to try to optimize our life, feel better, and look better.
Yeah, are those programs only for men or both for the women and men?
That's a great question. It is absolutely for both. And it's kind of interesting. So we really have two clinics. We kind of combine the clinics. One we call OB Men, and that is really geared for men's health services. Obviously, men are going to have some unique issues. Men may have problems with erectile dysfunction. And along those lines, we're going to have a number of unique treatments. Again, for example, we have a device that uses something that's very common in the industry now, using sound waves, acoustic waves, to actually help return the function in men who have erectile dysfunction. What we do that's unique is our device comes from Israel. It's only been FDA approved for a little more than a year now. And in head-to-head studies, it's far superior to anything out there. So we offer things like that. We offer an opportunity to regenerate your own nerves that have died, say you have or are injured, say you have diabetes, which affects the nerves. We can actually regenerate that through something called PRP, platelet-rich plasma, where we use your blood product. Believe it or not, there are now studies out that show we can use Botox, the same Botox we use for wrinkles, that we do use for wrinkles in our office, but we can use it and it will help men with erections. So we're really on the cutting edge of this. We are not your typical, low testosterone center. We're offering really high-end stuff. On the women's side, they may have some unique things as well. For example, women tend to have issues, especially after or around menopause, with things like estrogen, and they can get low testosterone. And we can do things that will really help them to get their energy back. We offer some peptides that will help women who want to feel energy again in the bedroom. We also offer ways to regenerate the feminine tissue. So there are so many things. Also, sometimes women come in, this is one of my more common things, women come in because they want an even tone of their skin. And especially in the Asian population, my Asian patients really like the sort of what we call porcelain skin, the kind of skin that people strive for in Korea. And so we actually have a series of treatments we can give by the vein. And after about 10 treatments, it's amazing. Not only does your skin even out, say you have discoloration, blotchiness, or something we call melasma, or you just have unevenness, not only does that even out, but your entire skin gets this beautiful porcelain glow to it. And then not only that, but the skin becomes softer. And the treatment is very safe. It's called the Cinderella treatment because of the famous Cinderella, of course, who was very pale. But it actually beautifies your skin in ways that are pretty amazing. So yes, we offer treatments for both men and women, but both of them, there's a lot of parts that we offer for both, including age-related issues and optimization and hormone optimization. And then there are some unique things that women tend to prefer. One thing that is an overlap too is one of the things that's very common as we age. Many people, it's not just men, we think of men with hair loss, but women get hair loss obviously too. And there are some really unique treatments for hair loss, from something called platelet-rich plasma, where we take your own blood, we concentrate your cells called platelets, we activate them, we inject them into the around the hair follicles, and where the hair is thinning, you get amazing results with hair growing back fuller. We also do something unique. We use exosomes. Exosomes are a derivative. They come from stem cells. And we take these exosomes. It is considered what we call off-label. It's not approved for this, but we use it for it because it works.
Okay,
so
Dr. Camp?
we put it, it's called exosomes, yes. Yeah. So we use it again for hair loss. It's amazing. So these are just some of the ways that we make you look and feel younger. And yes, for both men and women.
Okay, for the same issue, does they treat it different or treat the same?
Are women treated different or the same? Is that what you're with the men?
Yes, yeah, for the same issue, because they have the same problem.
If it's the same issues, for example, hair loss, yes, there's going to be overlap. You'd be surprised now how many men come in that want to look younger, and so they'll do Botox. We do Botox the same we do for women as for men to help get rid of wrinkle lines. For example, a lot of men get crow's feet, and then they get this, women too, and you get this deep lines here. The only difference is that men tend to need more Botox because their muscles are a little thicker on the face. But yes, it's the same. So we offer something called hydrofacial. Hydrofacial is the most sought after sort of skin cleansing, rejuvenation procedure that is non-surgical. And we do it for men and women, and they love it. And, you know, it just makes your skin glow, especially people who have a wedding coming up or they want to, for a special occasion, look good. So for about 3 weeks to 4 weeks, your skin absolutely glows after getting the treatment. And it's very quick and safe and easy.
Okay. And how long is the circle of the treatment?
How long does each treatment take? It really depends upon the treatment. For example, you know, for something as simple as Botox to get rid of the wrinkle lines, you're probably going to be in the office a total of 15 minutes. For the IV treatments for whitening, you know, something like that, you may be here for about 15 minutes. It's very quick. For where we use the machines on your face, those we take a lot of time. A lot of it's not just having the right machines to make your skin look good. It's having the technicians that know the technique. And one of the things we do is we take our time with it, and we want to make sure that we get a good result. So for something that is machine related, we want time to numb your face up and then time to do the procedure. You can be here as much as an hour or maybe a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay. Are there any side effects after physical therapy?
That's a great question. And the answer is right now, we're not seeing hardly any side effects. And what I mean by that is, for example, in one of my treatments that we use, it is in a clinical trial, an FDA clinical trial, and they're in what's called a phase 3, which means they're looking at thousands of patients. The FDA at intervals looks at them and they're not finding any side effects. Personally, in my office, if I'm doing a P shot, if you think about anything with platelets, platelet-rich plasma, which would be a P shot for men with ED, or we do an O shot for women who have urinary incontinence, or we use it for scars or for hair loss, for different things. That's your own blood products. So there are over 10,000 articles in the journals. It's very safe. In regards to peptides, peptides are something that our body naturally makes. There are thousands of peptides. We don't use thousands in my clinic, but we do use quite a few, and they're considered extremely safe at this point. Yes. But great question. And let me just say this, as a former researcher, neurologist who did research, before I do any treatments, that's the first thing I do is research for safety. One last thing along those lines, this is really important. When it comes to things like peptides, some people find they go online and they just order something. Sometimes it's cheaper, sometimes it's more expensive. But the bottom line is when you order online yourself without the assistance of a physician, it's pretty scary. You do not know what you're getting. And there have clearly been some issues with that. So all of our peptides come from FDA oversight into the labs where they make it, or the pharmacies where they make it here in Texas. So they're state licensed in Texas, and they have FDA oversight to make sure that everything is done safely.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, Dr. Camp, you mentioned many kinds of the program for the men and the women. Right now, what are the most popular, the men program right now?
Yeah, so I part of the reason why we're advertising with you, to be quite honest, I have a very large Asian population. My partner in this is Asian, and she's very connected to the Asian community. We travel to Asia a lot. We're doing other business in Asia, so we have this connection with the Asian community. So let me start with that. With the Asian community, probably the most popular thing is the skin whitening. I mean, it's just so easy. It works. It's safe. It's beautiful. The second thing that I would say that is really popular right now are some of the devices. I mentioned the Agnes, the Scarlet, and we do something called HIFU, which uses ultrasound. So for women who want to have tighter skin, it works great. And then I do a lot of filler for Asian population. I think I've gotten, over the years, it's one of my areas that I enjoy the most. And so, for example, if someone wants to have a more chiseled chin instead of more of a round face, trust me, just having that little bit of definition and chiseling here, and we can do that, believe it or not, with something called filler, where we do filler and it makes a nice straight line across here, and then I do a little filler in the chin, and you get this nice angled look, and it changes everything. So when people see someone who's had this, they go, they don't say you've had surgery because it looks natural, but they say, wow, you just look good. It's like you look younger and better. And when you combine that with the skin whitening and Botox, and, if you're able to do those things, wow, we can really make an impact on people and make them look beautiful. But those are some of my more popular things right now, for sure.
Yeah, is this only for the therapy, or you need to take a shot?
So the therapies, so there's so many therapies we offer. Some therapies we offer are an oral therapy. Some therapies we offer, if you get into, for example, some of the peptide therapies, most peptide therapies are a shot, but for those that have a phobia of needles, you don't have to worry, because the shot is usually delivered in an insulin syringe with a very tiny, tiny needle, and we just pinch the fat and we go in. So it's real easy to administer. Things like platelet-rich plasma, yes, we generally inject, but we numb people. And along those lines, it is important when you have patients coming in, you want them to be comfortable as possible. So one of the things we offer is we offer nitrous oxide, which is, some people know as laughing gas. When you go to the dentist, sometimes they give you gas so that you can be more relaxed. For those who are really anxious when they come into the doctor's office, which it happens, or especially if you're going to use a needle, they're like, oh my God, I don't like needles. You can give them a little bit of nitrous oxide and they relax, and it makes it so much better. And you can drive afterwards. You don't have to have somebody drive you in. It lasts about 8 minutes. It's out of your system. Then you can go home.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Camp, in your wonderful and detailed introduction. It helps a lot to reach its beauty area. OK， 好的，欢迎观众感谢观众朋友们。感谢观众朋友们收看我们的今天的美男时事通 ，Dr. Camp 给我们介绍了非常多的有关于无论是男士还是女士的一些的美容的方式。然后，如果您感兴趣的话，欢迎您致电，然后美男新闻，然后我们了解更多的内容。好的，感谢您的收看，我们下期节目再见。